Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be an easy holiday makeup look. Hi, I'm Farlie Solomons and let's create an easy holiday look. It's just going to be super easy and super gorgeous to look at. So today's palette that I have used is Tarte In Bloom palette, and this is one of my favorites, I would say. The first shade that I have applied is Rebel from this palette, and the shade looks something like this. This goes on the eyelid. I have used a fluffy blending brush, and if you have noticed, I have used a small fluffy blending brush because I just don't want this shade to blow up on the crease line. It's just there, and it's very, very subtle on the crease line. I've applied another layer of this shade on the crease line, and I'm only simply blending it off really well. The key is to blend the shades really well to achieve that super gorgeous look. And then I have used Art Deco eyeshadow pen, Art Deco High Performance eyeshadow, and it's in a form of a pen or pencil. It's in a form of a stick, and it's actually called Stylo 43, and it's waterproof. It's quite sticky on the eyelid. I didn't realize it when I used it, but when I just picked up the product right now, I see that it's waterproof, and this goes simply on the entire eyelid. Like I said, it's a very beautiful shade, no doubt, but it's quite sticky, I would say, and that's the reason it's sticky, because it's waterproof. Make sure you don't cross the crease line and you just stay on the eyelid, just like that, right from the inner corner out towards the outer corner. It's not a very dark stick eyeshadow, a dark shade, I would say, but it's quite nice once you finish the whole look. And I've been wanting to use this for a very long time, but I just couldn't pick up a look for this shade. But yes, today I just thought of using this because it goes really well for a holiday glam. And then I have picked up a blending brush, and all I'm doing is I'm just going to blend both the shades on the crease line, just like that. Like I said, it's a super easy look and it's super gorgeous to look at. And then I have picked up the shade Leader from the Tarte palette, and it's a dark shade, as you can see, and I'm simply going over the crease line. If you see, I have used a flat brush here, and it's quite thin. All I'm doing is just creating a line over the crease line, and from the inner corner towards the outer corner. Picking up the shade one more time and just going over the crease line, just like that. And then I'm simply going to blend it. What this does is it just deepens the socket a little bit, and for this look, like I said, the eyeshadow on the eyelid is not super dark, or the shade that I used first on the crease line is not super dark. I needed something that's just going to deepen the eye sockets, and that's the reason I'm using a darker shade, just a little bit on the crease line. I'm simply blending it as much as I can, and make sure you use a small blending brush because you just don't want to blow up the shade on the crease line. I'm then going with the shade Funny Girl from the same palette, and it's a shimmery shade, and this goes on the inner corner, just like that. I've used a flat brush simply to place the shade right there on the inner corner. Applying a little bit also on the brow bone, just so that it gives you the whole glamorous effect and gives you that feel of a holiday look. So I just decided to go a little bit over the brow bone. Usually I don't like putting anything shimmery on the brow bone, but just a little bit won't do any harm. And then I'm going again with Rocker from this palette, and this is also a shimmery shade, but this is a little bit dark, and all I'm doing is I'm just picking the shade from my finger and just placing it over the eyelid. That's all. Make sure you don't cross the crease line. And this is how the shade actually looks like. It's quite nice, and what you see is what you get, I would say. Like, it's the same shade on my eyelid, and the same thing goes on the lower lash line. It's just that I have to press a little bit of this so that the shade comes out really well. Like I said, it's quite sticky, and the reason it's sticky is because it's waterproof. But it's easy to apply. A little bit on the other eye, just so that they both look even. Just applying a little bit more, just like that. And then going back with Rebel from the palette, from the Tarte palette, all I'm doing is I'm simply using a small thin brush and just going over the lashes. I need to pick the shade one more time because I think it's a little bit light for the lower lashes. But I don't want to pick up something really dark or something like in black, because it's not a smoky look. It's just a very wearable look that I would say you could wear this. You could wear this easily. It's not too complicated, and it's not too smoky to look at, or it's not too dramatic to look at. So picking up the shade Rebel another time and just going over the lashes, lower lashes. If you have noticed, I'm simply dabbing the shade on the lash line. And then for the lashes, I have used Farlie Solomons. That's my own lashes, and in the style Go Getter. You could get these lashes on my website, and that's www.farliesolomons.com. But I'm going to use this towards the end of this tutorial. The next thing that I'm going to do is just apply a little bit of my concealer. The concealer that I have used today is Dior Forever Skin Correct in the shade 2N. All I'm doing is I'm just going to lightly brighten the area under my eyes a little bit, not much I would say, but I felt it's a little bit essential for this look, because somehow for me I feel the shade that I have used for my eyes just looks a little bit dark if I don't use a concealer. So that's the reason that I have used a concealer under my eyes. Usually I don't prefer using a concealer if I have to go out by myself, but yeah, for this look I would say I just needed the concealer to just make my eyes look less dark, I would say. And then I have used Too Faced Natural Face palette, and I have used Sunny Honey from this palette as it's a bronzer, and this goes on the hollows of my cheeks, on my forehead, a little bit on my jawline, and also my nose. I like to dab the products instead of just dragging it. First thing I would like to do is just place the products exactly where I want, and then I would like to just diffuse it gently. And then I'm also using it on my nose. Make sure you always blend the lines that you draw on your nose, because that kind of looks quite unreal if you just leave it and if you don't blend it well. So I would prefer blending it really, really well, and that's the reason I take a lot of time to blend the lines that I draw on my face, because I just wanted to blend into my skin and just look real as much as I can make it possible. But sometimes I also do make mistakes, like it just doesn't look so real because I haven't blended it well. And the next shade I have used from the face palette, that's Tropic Like It's Hot, and it's a shimmery blush, and this goes on the cheeks. And I've always whenever I apply this blush from this palette, I usually forget how pigmented the shades are in this palette, and I usually end up applying a little bit more on my face, which is quite okay because I know how to diffuse it. All I'm doing is I'm just picking up the bronzer brush that I've used on my face, and I'm just going over the blush just so that it just makes the shade a little softer. And then I have used a fan brush just to diffuse the edges on that I see on my face, especially the blush, and this works really, really well. You could use a little bit of loose powder also in case you find it to be too harsh on your face, the shades. And then I have used a little bit of foundation on a beauty blender, and all I'm doing is I'm just going under the bronzer and just around my lips. I don't prefer using a concealer because it just doesn't look even on my face, I would say. But if you're used to using concealers, please go ahead. But for me, I think I just want the whole face to look even, and that's the reason I like to use my foundation that I have used as a base. And in that way, I would say that the whole face looks quite even and natural. And all I'm doing is I'm just also going around the edges, as you can see, around the bronzer and the blush that I've used, and simply dabbing it with the beauty blender. It's just diffusing the shade and trying to make it as natural as possible. Going back with the small fan brush, I'm just diffusing the edges. As you can see, it's quite easy to do so. Just like that. And then I've picked up a loose powder, and I'm simply going on my entire face with this loose powder. The loose powder that I have used today is Too Faced Translucent Loose Powder, and it's a fluffy brush. As you can see, it's a face brush, and all I'm doing is I'm just applying the loose powder on the entire face, just dabbing it. I need to use a little bit of foundation on my neck. For the lips, I have used NARS Take Me Home, and it's a stick, and I personally love this shade very much because this goes really well on my goes really well with my skin tone, and I can apply this during the day and during the night, and it just makes my lips look gorgeous, I would say. And then from the face palette, I have used Satin Sheets, and this goes on the highest points of my cheeks. That's the my cheekbone. Since it's a holiday look, I want to feel that glamorous thing, on my face, and that's the reason I love to use a highlighter. But if you don't want to use a highlighter, you can skip this step. Like me, I sometimes don't like to use a highlighter. And going back with the lashes, I'm going to go off camera and apply my false eyelashes. And this is how it looks like. To fill my waterline, I have used NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. It's called Black Bean, and it's 601. And for the mascara, I have used YSL. I filled my waterline and also the top waterline of my eyes with the NYX Jumbo pencil so that it looks nice and gorgeous on the eyes. And like I said, it's going to be a very, very, very easy look, and it's going to be super gorgeous to look at too. And I feel anyone could just create this look. Even a beginner would be able to create this look, and it's super hot. I would say it's super hot. This look is super hot. So that's it from me. This is the end of the tutorial. I hope you liked this look as much as I loved creating this look for you. If you are on Instagram, my Instagram handle is Farlie Solomons. There's a lot that's happening out there. And if you are on Facebook, my Facebook is Farlie Solomons Makeup Artist. And YouTube, of course, you know YouTube. But I shall see you in my next one. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.